so that the cases that I'm going to read don't happen to you. I talked about all of the business implications for adopting this harmful strategy. I've said it before and I've said it again. This is not how you want to build a very solid business foundation. And I don't care how good something sounds. My grandmother used to say, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I just want this to be one of two examples that serve as a cautionary tale. So not only do you have limitation of subcontracting clause, you also have the control ramifications. And I think this is what sometimes new government contractors forget. They like to pull or highlight one clause and they just disregard everything else that's layered in the FAR. The unfortunate part about all of this is just the beginning of a litany of cases like this. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Curtis A. Merriweather Jr. You can call me Dr. Curtis. Now, the purpose of this channel is to educate entrepreneurs. We do this education through consultation and training support services. Now, my goal on this channel is to help lower your learning curve and accelerate your business profitability and success. Now, we do this by simplifying advanced education, sharing practical experience, tips, strategies, insights, and by sharing lessons learned based on 28 years in the space. Now on your screen, you'll see my Instagram handle. My Instagram handle has changed since this channel begun almost a couple years ago. Right now on your screen, you're gonna see the URL to our teaching platform, which is 8figuregovcon.com, 8figuregovcon.com. And if you go to our course store library, you click on the library page, you'll see some of our flagship programs. Two in particular, our government contracting for barbers and cosmetologists, and the 8-figure government contracting program bundle. So hopefully you'll give us a consideration. And go to our blog page. I've written several articles on the various government contracting topics. Before I jump into my topic for today, I want you to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. You do nothing else. Like, and subscribe, hit the notification bell. And I look forward to you coming along and being a subscriber. Okay. I have to tell you guys something today. I have a topic that I am really saddened to share about, but I have to share it. And I'm saddened about it because of a lot of the misinformation that's floating around on social media. I am watching companies be hurt. And that's never a fortunate situation. And I think in everyone's life, we've all had moments of ignorance where we just didn't know. We were doing the best we could with the knowledge that we had. I wish that I would have had channels like the one that I'm trying to curate here for you guys when I got started. Because quite frankly, when I got started in 2010, which is when I left federal service, I've been in the space, you guys know, for a while. Even prior to that, I've been doing government contracting for about 10 years, even before I left government service. And the information just went out. It just wasn't there. And so I wish I had the content that you all have, the access you have. But I just want to caution you to be very careful about where you're consuming your content, because I came across two articles yesterday that quite frankly disturbed me. And I want to share that with you. And I hope that you do not fall in this category. I just want to make sure that you have the most actionable information possible. And I have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that I do my very best to give you the most actionable information that I can. I'm never, ever going to intentionally lie to you or deceive you. And I recognize sometimes that the truth is not always pleasant. And sometimes it runs counter to what we want to do or hope to do. And so what am I talking about? Well, today I want to talk about the middleman strategy. I do not bring you this content with any kind of glee or I told you so. I bring this content with a very saddened heart for what I'm witnessing many unassuming new entrants into the space go through. Now, I must admit that when I first started the channel, I just wanted to help people. And I got called all types of names. I was told that I didn't want to see people win. I was making this stuff hard for people. I was doing all this stuff. And all I really ever wanted to do was to educate the community. This, for me, it wasn't about making money. I got accused of having 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 price tags. I've never done that. I've always kept my prices fair. And I just wanted to make sure that the information that could be helpful would get out. One of the things that I've learned over a period of time is that when you do things for free, people sometimes don't appreciate the value. So if you put a slight price tag on it, hopefully they'll commit and see the process through. That's all I've ever wanted to do. But I was called everything other than that, and that's okay. I mean, that's what comes with being on social media. But I have two things that I want to share with the community today. And again, I don't share this with any kind of glee. I share this as a warning that if you're doing this practice, please stop. Now, I'm going to just talk and give what I'm going to call a legal summary. It's not an official legal summary, but there is a lawyer that I really respect in the Washington, D.C. area. He's practiced for quite some time. He has over 2 decades of experience in the space, and I really trust his legal opinion. By no means am I saying I'm an attorney, because I am not. But I have great relationships with great attorneys in the space that have kept me out of trouble for quite some time. And so the goal of this channel has always been to help you navigate the space successfully. And I try to put guardrails around you to protect you so that the cases that I'm going to read don't happen to you. Let me just get into it so I don't just ramble on. First case that I want to share is, I'm not going to go through the case. We're going to do some additional commentary. Steve and I will do some deep legal analysis, because my real thing is I really just want people to understand. I could have came on here and talked about the limitations of subcontracting clause, but I've already did that on numerous videos. But you're going to see how that comes into play in this particular case. So the first case that I want to talk about is this protest of Spartan Medical. I'm not going to call the name of the individual. It's not my intention to shame anyone here, but mainly to make sure that you get information and that you can make wise decisions in terms of where you consume information from. It's super important. But I'm going to go ahead and read Steve Coprince's kind of caption here. He gives a very high-level legal analysis. Again, we're going to do future videos where we go and do a deeper dive into these cases. But this first case, Steve says this case is worth the read to anyone interested in supposedly making big money in government contracting without doing much in the way of actual work through a so-called middleman strategy. While each acquisition is different, small business contracts, which some middleman advocates specifically suggest pursuing, are typically subject to limitations on subcontracting and the ostensible subcontractor rule, both of which are discussed in this case. While the term middleman does not appear in the decision, that is not a term that the federal government acknowledges. Just want to put that out there. The putative prime contractor who was found ineligible was a sole proprietorship. If you've been on this channel, you know I advocate for LLCs or S corps. Talk to your tax attorneys and your legal professionals, and to figure out the best strategy for you based on your unique situation and what your goals are. But that's mistake number one. It says was a sole proprietor that did not propose to self-perform any part of the required services and had no workforce that conceivably might perform them. So in this case, there was a individual. I'm not going to call the person's name, even though it's on the screen. Again, I didn't put it up there to shame them. I am going to put the link in the description box so you can go and look at the case yourself. I'm not making this up. And it says it sounds awfully middleman-y to me. So if you are finding yourself implementing a lot of the popular nomenclature, a lot of the popular terminology that's being used, and using some of these strategies, I've said it before and I've said it again. This is not how you want to build a very solid business foundation. I did a whole video. I'm not going to regurgitate that here. When I talked about middleman, I talked about the limitations of subcontracting clause and how it's often misinterpreted. I talked about similarly situated businesses. And then I talked about, in another video, I talked about why you should avoid this strategy and legal aside. And I talked about all of the business implications for adopting this harmful strategy. This is not a great day. And no one wants to find themselves in this situation after they spent countless hours trying to win an opportunity only to have it overturned because they were executing a strategy that is unallowable in the federal context. I don't care who tells you to follow these things. It's incumbent upon us as entrepreneurs to make sure we get accurate legal representation, we get the right teammates on our team, and we have a fiduciary responsibility. We have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure we're doing the absolute best we can. So it's not our job for you to listen to and take anything anyone says at face value. Do your own research. Now, I'm not going to ever come on here and deliberately tell you false information. I'm not going to do that, even when it's unpopular. And when I broke this story almost 2 years ago, I was met with vile comments because it went against what other social media influencers were saying, and they may have had more followers than me, and they made people believe that you could shortcut the system, and that's just not true here. So I just want this to serve as a cautionary tale to do your proper due diligence. Do your proper due diligence. And I don't care how good something sounds. My grandmother used to say, if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. I just want this to be one of two examples that serve as a cautionary tale. And let me go also say this. I'm going to get ready to review the second case. Matter of fact, let me pull it up. I want you to make sure that you're putting your business house in order so these things do not happen to you. There was a lot of time, money, effort, I'm sure, sacrifice to even be in a position to win the opportunities and to have them taken from you because of a misunderstanding of the rules. And if you go back, let me go back a slide. If you go back, this person, I'm sure, admitted to the government what they were doing, and they thought nothing was wrong with it because their favorite social media government contractor influencer said it was okay. So my heart bleeds for this person, and all their efforts. They probably feel like they were shammed and victimized and scammed. And my job is to never deliberately do that to you. And if I find out I'm in error, I will promptly issue a correction, because my job here is to give you the most honest, judicious information that I possibly can. That's what I've always endeavored to do on this channel. Okay, let's keep going to the next case. This one is the appeal of Hawaii Ocean and Sun Travel. Again, I'm going to read Steve's kind of caption here. It says, this recent decision by the SBA is short for Small Business Administration, Office of Hearing and Appeals, which is also known as OHA, is a good reminder that even if a service-disabled veteran-owned, I think he meant business, veteran owns 100% of his or her company, the company won't qualify as a service-disabled veteran-owned small business if the veteran does not meet the control requirements set forth in, and he gives the regulation 13 CFR 128.203. So not only do you have limitation of subcontracting clause, you also have the control ramifications. And I think this is what sometimes new government contractors forget. They like to pull or highlight one clause and they just disregard everything else that's layered in the FAR. The FAR is not no law, is designed to repeat itself. Once it's established in regulation, statutes, and case law, they don't have to repeat themselves. So when people start talking about they're talking about how they get around the limitations of subcontracting clause because they can't find the FAR clause in they still are forgetting the control requirement, which is a requirement in law. Let me keep going. In this case, a veteran owned a veteran owned 100% of the company in question. However, the veteran had a full-time job elsewhere. In a statement submitted with the company's SDVOSB application, Service Disabled Veteran-Owned Small Business, what the acronym means, the veteran said that he depends on subcontractors to run the day-to-day operations while he focuses on finance and marketing. The SBA denied the SDVOSB certification application, stating that the veteran had not demonstrated that he fully controlled the company's decision-making. SBA, OHA, that's Office of Hearing and Appeals, Office of Hearing and Appeals, agreed, writing that the veteran conceded that he relied on subcontractors to manage the company's day-to-day operations. You cannot just outsource all the work. I know that sounds glamorous. I know that we all want to make some extra money. I get it. But as a business owner, you have to be in control of the business. So oftentimes people who quote the limitations of subcontracting clause and the similarly situated business provisions, they forget about the control provisions. And this is what I'm saying. You cannot look at this as a one size fits all. There are a litany of things you have to consider when you're going to take on this space. So again, I do not find pleasure in having to share this, but I have a moral and ethical responsibility to share the information. And I just want to caution you all that you need to make sure you're consulting people who are going to point you in the right direction. We cannot just simply fall victim to blind judgment that sounds good. And the unfortunate part about all of this is just the beginning of a litany of cases like this, because that strategy has gotten such widespread acceptance in and through the industry. Government, sometimes the wheels of justice in government move slowly. And my concern is there are going to be more and more cases of this. And I think this is showing that the government is really serious about this. I've been hearing these rumblings now for about a year. And I knew this day was coming. I'm not happy about this, because a lot of well-meaning people are going to are being hurt by this strategy, being hurt from a reputational perspective, being hurt financially. It's all as entrepreneurs, we take risks to start these businesses, and to have your world swept out from under you is devastating. So I would not wish this on anyone, but I just wanted this to serve as another warning to be very careful of where you consume content. And just because something is popular doesn't mean you should be doing it. We've seen on social media a variety of platforms who have had to retract videos because the things that were being promoted on their channels were proven to be false, unethical, and in some cases a violation of law. And I think this is just one of those cases. And so I've never been an advocate for middleman, nor will I ever be, for a litany of reasons. And I would never produce content on this channel just because it's popular. I will only seek to always tell you the truth, even if it goes against popular culture, because I want you to be safe. And government contracting is still a very strong way to change your financial future and trajectory, because it changed mine. And I'm no smarter than you all. Yes, I have a bunch of degrees, but if I did it, so can you. I told a story on one of my earlier videos. My mentor was a Navy veteran, high school diploma, was a multi-millionaire when I met him. So don't have to have a whole bunch of education. You don't have to be super smart to do this. You just need to understand the work that you're doing. And I know that's another thing that's not popular right now. You need to understand the domain that you're traveling in, understand the work. You don't have to be an expert, but you need to know enough about it so you can effectively manage it, because you do have a control. You have to demonstrate control of the business. And control does not mean that I sub out every piece of the work and I do a little bit to make a lot. That just doesn't work. So that's all I got for you in this video. I want you to go back and watch some of my previous videos, and I'm gonna see you in a future video. Oh, but before I go, many of you guys know I am doing the LaunchPad Formula Bootcamp, We will start August 8th. This is going to be a 14-day mentorship ride with me, where I'm going to walk you through 14 days of things you need to be doing, the blocking and tackling, the basics, the fundamentals to get the business moving, especially as we enter into the last quarter of the fiscal year. You guys know October 1 starts a new fiscal year for the federal government. So October 1, 2024 for us is going to be the new year for the government contracting community. So I want you to take all the opportunities you possibly can. At the end of the year, you can register on the website under the store tab. And I definitely want you to think about and consider joining the 14-day boot camp, because I really want to correct any kind of faulty foundations and make sure that you can continue pursuing the work you built upon. I want you to continue pursuing that in a way that's ethical, legal, and just moral. And I just want to see you win. I just want to see you win. And again, this video is not to shame anyone. It's just to serve as a warning call, because I do not want to continue seeing legal decisions and case files like this. See you in a future video. Until next time.